Hi, everyone, and thank you for joining the Paralegal Certificate Course Informational webinar presented by Center for Legal Studies. We will begin shortly to ensure everyone has enough time to join us. All right. Today's webinar will commence with a presentation by Stephanie Elio, Vice President of Business Development at Center for Legal Studies. Following the presentation, we will allocate approximately 10 minutes for a live Q&A session. During this time, you are encouraged to submit your questions via the Q&A feature. Our enrollment counselors will either respond directly or we will address your questions during the live session. If we are unable to address your questions during the webinar, please know that we will provide our contact information so you can reach out to us afterwards. Without further ado, I will now hand it over to Stephanie to start today's presentation. Take it away, Stephanie.
Thank you, Deja, and welcome to all of you. We appreciate you spending the middle of your day with us. We're going to dig right in here. We're going to start by taking a look at the agenda so you know exactly what we'll be covering today. Quick ground rules. As Deja mentioned, we do have some enrollment counselors in the background to answer questions throughout this presentation. And we do request that any questions you submit, please make them relevant and be kind. Otherwise, we'll have to turn that function off, and we wouldn't want to do that. We will talk about who Center for Legal Studies actually is. We'll dig into the online learning formats and which format may be best for you, how the courses are graded, what time commitments look like, student satisfaction, testimonials, things like that. A little bit overview of the content itself, what those learning outcomes actually are, how the interactive assessments work, what you can do after the paralegal certificate and continue your training with some of our advanced courses. We'll take a little dip into digital badges and why those are an awesome addition to earning the certificate itself, what the career outlook looks like, and the enrollment process itself. And when we get through all of that, we'll have some time left over for some of that live Q&A. Let's go ahead and talk about Center for Legal Studies. We are very proud to be part of Barbary Global. Barbary is the world leader in legal education, distance learning, training, certification. CLS was originally founded in 1980. So we are in our 44th year of specifically training legal support staff, and we do specialize in paralegal certificate. Why do students come to us? We work very hard to maintain affordable tuition, course fees, flexible delivery methods with online, self-study, live lectures via Zoom, hybrid classes, text only. We have an awesome instructional staff. They are all licensed attorneys. They are currently working in the field. So not only are they credible, but experienced and very professional. And all of our courses are designed to provide realistic, practical, applicable career training. We offer additional courses to the paralegal certificate. As I mentioned, we do train legal support staff. And so we have courses for legal secretary, personal injury for paralegal, victim advocacy. We have a couple of medical courses, legal nurse consultant, for instance, a medical professional legal consultant course. We work with advanced legal research and writing skills. I encourage you, if you have not already done so, to go ahead and check out our catalog on our website. You can see all the courses that are offered, the fees for the courses there. We have a full service bookstore. It's all there on our website at www.legalstudies.com. Every course that is within our catalog is designed to remain on pace with the current industry. So you walk away from any CLS course with skills that you can immediately implement into your current job or your next job. As I said, we've got multiple formats that we deliver this course in. The first one that we're going to talk about is our traditional online format, and that is by far the most popular format. Our academic calendar is broken down into 6 7-week sessions per year, and they have very specific start dates. The next session actually begins August 19th. There is another that begins in October, and then we'll roll right into January to start the 6 sessions for 2025. Now, with the paralegal certificate, the one that you've all come to here today to learn about, that is actually a 14-week training program. We deliver it over 2 7-week sessions, but the course fee does pay for both. So when we get to the end of the presentation and I'm reading off the course fees for you, or you've already discovered them on the website, what I want you to know is you do not pay that course fee twice. You pay it one time and it pays for both sessions. So if you start in August, you're going to be finishing up just that first week of December, and you could earn your paralegal certificate before Christmas. So this year. Within the traditional online format, there are discussion forums built in and email tools for easy communications with your instructor. And it's a very flexible online asynchronous course that can be accessed at your convenience during the 14-week session. You have access to your instructor to ask questions, and that access is 24/7. So you heard me say that our instructors are licensed attorneys. They are currently working. They're not online 24/7 to answer your question, but those email tools are there. They do have office hours that they let their students know what they are. And then they've got a very reasonable response time to answer whatever questions you may have. If you need additional assistance or a question, you can certainly make an appointment with them. That will hopefully be a matchup for your availability and theirs. The next format that we'll talk about is our online self-study format. So when we're looking at these different formats, one thing to keep in mind is the curriculum itself. The learning objectives are going to be identical regardless of format. So you're going to develop the same skills. The difference is really in the delivery itself. So with the traditional online that we just discussed, that is on a very set schedule. 14 weeks delivered over 2 7-week sessions, set start date, set end date. With this self-study format, you can actually start any day you want to. Rather than have completion expectations in the 14 weeks time, you're given a 6-month clock to complete the coursework, and you work entirely at your own pace. You would still have access to an instructor, and you can move faster or slower. In reality, I don't ever advise anyone to set up an expectation that they're going to do it faster than 14 weeks. This is an intense course. It's not fluffy. You're going to be learning a ton of stuff. It's absolutely doable, but it does take time. So with that, if you are someone that is got strong time management skills, you maybe have more free time than the average person. Our courses are designed for busy adult students that may have full-time jobs, they may have a family to support, spouses that want attention, aging parents, you name it. So many things going on. If you are lucky enough to have a freer schedule, you may be able to complete it quicker in the self-study format, but you'd want that 8 to 12 hours per week and possibly accelerate that. With the interaction with the instructor, it's going to be the same as the traditional online. But to be successful in our self-study format, you do need to have the self-discipline, the study skills, the time management, and the ability to keep yourself on track. So you finish on time, because that's what we all want, is for you to earn that certificate and develop the skills that you came here to get. The next format, live lecture. Pre-COVID days, we had instructors that were physically in classrooms on college and university campuses. With COVID, as you all know, that was no longer a possibility. We pivoted over to a Zoom delivery. So our students that wanted that real-time interaction with instructors, they wanted to see, hear, and be present and engaged with the instructor. We're still able to deliver that via Zoom. And when COVID was over, universities, colleges opened back up, we made a very deliberate decision to keep our live classes on Zoom. It enables more folks to attend without having to drive to the campus and spend that extra time. Commuting back and forth, they're still able to have this very similar experience. Our live lectures are completed within 8 to 12 weeks, depending on the campus, on the school that you select would determine a custom schedule. We do have those classes regional. So currently the next ones are beginning on July 8th, and we do have a Pacific time zone class. There is one for the Mountain time zone, Central and East Coast. You can certainly look on our website to determine, just put in find the course box on the home page, put Paralegal, select your format, which would be live lecture, and it will let you know which of our partner schools participate in that, and then you can view the custom schedule. If you have any difficulties locating that information, you can always contact our enrollment counselors. They are available Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. And we'll have the phone number available for you at the end of this presentation. The format chart is something that you want to take a peek at. If you want a copy of that, our enrollment counselors can email it to you. What it's going to do is really help you to determine which format is best for you. You're still going to earn a certificate, regardless of which format you do when you complete the program. You're going to earn that digital badge. We'll talk about the Career Center access in a few minutes. The curriculum is going to be the same. What varies is really how you learn. And that's something that we don't know. You know how you learn best. So take a look at this chart. If being in a cohort class with someone telling you there are weekly assignments due and you've got a due date every week is something that structure helps you to be more successful, then that's really where you need to be. If you feel that you are a strong, independent learner and you desire that flexibility, self-study would be it. Text only is someone that may not have access to the internet whatsoever. No access to computers. You may be in some particular part of the world where there's no internet access. It's good for deployed military personnel or potentially incarcerated. If you are not either of those and you're not living somewhere that has no internet, I really do recommend formats 1, 2, or 3 for you. That last one is pretty niche audience. We can go ahead and take a look at the next slide, which is going to talk about the grading itself and the time commitment. I alluded a moment ago how much time people might need for the course on average. Now, granted, that is an average of people all the way from this end to the other end. About 8 to 12 hours is pretty fair estimate per week for the total coursework. That includes your online time, your reading time, and completing assignments. There's a lot of reading in this program. So one gauge to help you determine, will I be spending 8 or 12? Because that's a 4-hour spread. It's significant. Reading comprehension is going to play a big part. If you are a strong reader, fast reader with strong comprehension. You're able to read it first run, retain it well, spit it back out in your own knowledge, and really grasp the concepts. You're going to be on the short end. If you are the type of student that needs to read things multiple times for better retention, for better comprehension, it may take you a little longer. If you find yourself spending more than 15 hours per week, I strongly encourage you to communicate with your instructor. It is highly likely that you've maybe gone down a rabbit hole, you're on the wrong track, or something needs a little redirection. And that's what they're there for. We at CLS want you to be successful. Your instructor wants you to be successful, and we will certainly help you to reach that goal. Regarding the grading at CLS, every single assignment that you do, whether it's a test, a quiz, anything, it's going to require a 70% minimum passing score. Now, what does that mean? If you score 100 on one test and 50 on another, they're not going to average those grades out to a 75. Or if you totally bomb a test and do really well on another, it's not going to average out 70% on each and every one. Natural question after that is, what happens if I don't get 70% on something? It's not the end of your world. Again, keep in mind, we want you to be successful. You'll have an opportunity to redo it. The instructor will provide feedback, let you know why you didn't score 70% or better, and you'll have an opportunity to go back, reread the materials, retake the test, retake the quiz, whatever it is, you'll get more than one shot at it. There's reasoning behind this, and it's really to your benefit. We can't send you out into the world for your next job or your promotion or your first job, whichever it may be, and be really good at some skills and not at others. An employer will expect you to be competent in all. So you will develop all skills within the curriculum with passing scores. We do provide ongoing technical and administrative support for all of our students throughout their time in the program. Regarding testimonials, 95%, we are so proud of that number, have said that these courses are flexible and they work for them. The knowledge they're gaining and the skills they're developing are on pace. They're using them in their current jobs. They are absolutely willing to recommend our courses to friends and family, and they are willing to return to further their education into those advanced topics for paralegal or into advanced legal research and writing, pick up additional skills. The more skills you have, the more valuable you are. The course itself, learning outcomes. What are you going to learn while you're here? Legal research? Absolutely. Legal writing? You will, toward the end of the course, be writing an appellate brief. Civil procedure. Ethics is a component of every single course in the catalog. You cannot work in the legal industry and not have strong ethics. It just doesn't fly. So we will help you develop those here. Legal citation, rules of evidence, torts, contracts, they are all included in this program. You can view a full syllabus on our website at legalstudies.com under the About Us tab at the toolbar at the top of the screen. If you just hover over that, it'll give you a drop-down box. Look for the word syllabi. It'll give you an entire page with a link to the syllabus for not only this course, but every other course that we offer. The online experience. Within the paralegal certificate course, there are recorded video lectures. There are also formative assessments for you to self-assess without being graded. Little mix and match games, flashcard exercises. You can do them as many times as you want to without being graded. to practice your comprehension and your retention of the objectives. And those formative assessments will give you immediate feedback. You can do them as many times as you want. That's a newer feature over the last couple of years in our course, and student feedback on them has been awesome. Students really like to be able to have that, test myself before I take the actual. Works out pretty well. So I've talked about the paralegal certificate, what you're going to learn there. Learning doesn't have to stop there. We also have an advanced paralegal certificate. It runs on the same academic calendar that our paralegal does within those 6 standard 7-week sessions per year. What you're seeing on this slide are the 16 topics included within the advanced program. This allows you to build on that foundation, that core training that you get in the paralegal, and specialize in very specific areas of the law, like bankruptcy, criminal law, victim advocacy, family law, estate planning. Now, with these 16 topics, every topic is available every session. Now, you can certainly take 1, 2, 3, 16 of them, as many as you want. We do cap out how many you can take in a given session, and that would be 3. These are also designed for our students in California, which will need to complete 6 of them and actually earn the advanced certificate. If you want to take less than 6, you earn a digital badge. If you want to take more than 6, you get a digital badge for every single one, but at the 6 mark, you earn that advanced paralegal certificate. Now, in the state of California, other states within the country are unregulated for paralegal, but in California, students who are training to be a paralegal and want to utilize the title of paralegal and have their employer bill them out as such must be in compliance with the California Business and Professions Code 6450. Now, in order to be in compliance with that code, a student must have 24 semester units of substantive legal training. Our courses, the combination of paralegal and advanced paralegal, that's completion of 6 topics plus the core training, will put you in compliance in California. We actually designed the advanced program around that compliance. So for anyone else in the nation, knowledge is power. Skills make you more valuable. Absolutely. And, about 50% of our paralegal students that don't reside in California voluntarily choose to pick up advanced topics because they know it's going to make them more marketable. For those of you in California, it is a requirement. If you plan to continue living in that state and that is where you want to be working as a paralegal, you will need to do both programs if you don't have other legal training elsewhere. We are not the California Business and Professions Code police here, but it is our obligation to advise you that this is the code and that our program's completion of the 2 will in fact put you where you need to be. So we're going to talk about the exciting digital badges that are just a few years old here. They're getting more and more common with skills training programs. This is something you can add to your LinkedIn profile, any social media, your digital resume. Earning your certificate's great. You can print it out, you can put it in a nice frame and put it on your wall, and it's a statement of your accomplishment. But it stays on your wall. The digital badge that you earn, you can send that out everywhere. You can add it to your signature line. The cool thing about this is it doesn't only say what course you took, when you took it, which one of our partner schools you took it through, but when you click on it, you can drill down into the skills that were developed in this program. An employer wants to know that you earned your paralegal certificate. Absolutely, they do. But they also want to know what skills you're bringing to the table. And this enables them to view that very quickly. Also within the digital badge, there are employment opportunities. You can see where there are job listings. It links right out to those. So that's pretty exciting too. If you have additional questions about the digital badges that are earned, you'll see here these are for paralegal advanced, and then each individual topic within advanced can earn a badge. We do have a video that goes into a little greater detail and an email that our enrollment counselors could send you. So if you're already in communication with one of them, go ahead and just send them an email and say, please send me the badge video or badge email, or you can send a chat and they can send it to you that way as well. In order to reach the enrollment counselors, if you're not already corresponding with them via email, or you haven't talked to them yet on the phone, you can send an email to info@legalstudies.com. And during business hours, the response rate is very quick. They can usually turn a response around like that. So we encourage you to send any questions that you may have in the future about other programs, or if I happen to leave something out here, you can always post it there if you haven't gotten to it here. Or if you think of it after the fact, it's hard to remember everything in a quick 45-minute presentation. So we're moving on, and we're gonna look at where can you work. So now, hypothetically, you've done the training, you've earned the certificate. Where are you gonna go? What are you gonna do with it? Almost every single industry out there hires paralegals. Everybody knows that they work in law firms. That is just a given. But they work everywhere else too. The banking industry hires paralegals. Insurance companies, corporate America, every corporation's got a legal department. The state and county agencies, the court systems, real estate, and obviously law firms. But the opportunities are really endless, and you can take this skill set just about anywhere, and it doesn't expire. Obviously, you want to be adding some kind of new training or show an employer that you are a lifelong continuous learner. So you want to take other things as your career goes on so that you stay on pace and current, but you don't have to come back on an annual, semi-annual basis to earn another certificate. Once you earn it, it is yours to keep, and it is transferable. You can go from state to state to state. If you end up landing in California, and you haven't gotten the additional training for advanced, you might need to pick that up. But otherwise, if you're going to move, you don't need to re-earn or go back to school to do that. You can move from state to state. Work from home is also an option. One positive thing that came out of COVID was employees were able to prove to employers that they can accomplish just as much at home as they can in an office. Now, I do not advise people to walk into any job and presume that they are going to be working from home. You want to look for those in job postings, or it's something you may want to inquire about in an interview. What are the opportunities? Sometimes it's something that is earned. They may let you have part-time at home, after a certain amount of time. It's really up to the firm. So some have them working from home from day one. Others may not. It's something you want to ask about, and you want to be willing to work with whatever process they've got if that's the firm that you want to work within. There's also virtual paralegals that freelance. That is a possibility as well. If that is one of your goals, I strongly suggest you pay close attention during the course itself to your instructor. They will explicitly let you know what a paralegal can and cannot do legally with or without the supervision of a licensed attorney. So if working freelance in any capacity is one of your goals, again, I'm going to say, pay attention to what your instructor tells you can and cannot do. with or without supervision of an attorney. And if you miss part of that, or they don't elaborate on it as much as you would like, ask questions. You have an instructor, you've got the communication tools, ask questions. They love questions. Resource tools. When you're developing new skills, you're looking to implement those into a job, whether you're looking for a promotion or you're a career changer, or you're just changing from maybe industry within the same type of thing, but maybe you want to go from finance into law firms, or from law firms into insurance companies, or higher education. They are paralegals too. We have got a career center to help you in that endeavor. Our resource tools are exclusively for our graduates. Now, I mentioned at the very beginning of this presentation that CLS, Center for Legal Studies, is part of Barbary Global. So Barbary, for those of you that may not know who Barbary is, for the last 50 years, they've trained 80+% of every licensed attorney out there to pass their bar exam. The lawyer network within Barbary is something that you could not find anywhere else but here. And so our resource center has got job postings from attorneys that have their own firms now that were Barbary students years ago, and now they're looking to hire. They post looking for our graduates. There is a place for you to get resume review and post your own resume. There's career planning tools. We do a quarterly webinar series with tips from actual hiring professionals in firms, and those are great. I work in the background on those. I don't actually speak on them, but I attend every single one because I love to hear what those experts are saying about the hiring process now. They get down and dirty for you and tell you exactly what they expect to see in a good interview, what they're looking for in candidates, and give some pretty cool tips that you can't find elsewhere. We also have a career resource guide. So when do you get this exclusive entrance and ticket to get into the Career Center? When you complete 60% of your paralegal certificate. So 60% through the course, and you will receive that access to the Career Center so that you've got some time as you're finishing up the program to start getting ready to hit the ground running for that next job or that promotion that you're seeking. Earning potential. Our statistics are pulled from the U.S. Department of Labor. They run every other year a new occupational outlook, and the current median salary is $56,230. That is according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics.gov. If you want to visit that website, you certainly can. Different industries vary a little bit on the pay scale, and these are median salaries. So if you are in the rural areas of Kansas, you're probably not going to have the same salary as you might in New York City or LA. They are certainly based on cost of living, but that's something that you should naturally expect. With paralegal, it tends to be a job that also comes with benefits, certainly at the prerogative of the firm or agency or organization that hires you, but it is a profession that you can have a pretty reasonable expectation to have benefits included. So health insurance, PTO, dental, obstacle, medical, that kind of stuff. And overtime, for paralegals, especially those that work in law firms. When there's a heavy case, paralegals work some extra time. So 9 to 5 office job, probably in a lot of places, a lot of the time, but there is potential for overtime as well. If you haven't signed up yet, how do you do that? So CLS works with a little over 150 accredited college and universities nationwide. What you see on this slide is simply a sample of our schools. We are in every state currently in the United States, except I believe 4. And if you happen to reside in one of those 4 or maybe 5 states that we are not in currently, simply choose the neighboring state. It is our advice that you earn your certificate from where you plan to work. If you are living in a particular state, that is where you're going to continue living. You plan to work in that area. The closest school is going to be the most recognizable by your potential employer. Students are free to select any one of our partners, and in order to find the one that is closest to you, simply go on our website, go to that Find a Course box, put in which course you want, paralegal certificate, the format you're looking for, if it's traditional, standard, online, and then put in the state in which you reside. They will populate immediately for you a list of where we have partners that offer this program. Not every school offers every program, but most of them all offer the paralegal certificate. So you shouldn't be hard pressed to find a partner. And we do, as I said, recommend that you select the partner school closest to you. The tuition is going to be the same. The content is the same. It is taught by instructors that work for CLS. The certificate you earn upon completion will be issued by the school that you designate when you register. And the course fee itself. So the course fee is $1,895. That pays for both 7-week sessions for paralegal. 14-week training, but you have 2 7-week sessions. There are required textbooks for this program. We don't require that you buy them from us, but honestly, you're not going to find them much less. We work very hard to make sure that the pricing on the textbooks is as low as we can bring it to you. And another thing is we guarantee the right editions and the right textbooks will drop ship them to your door or wherever you tell us to send them. Shipping and handling is a modest fee for that, and we ship out almost every day. Every business day, we've got shipments leaving our warehouse, and we'll ship anywhere into the continental United States. If you require shipping to a foreign country, you'd want to work with our support team because we can't predetermine what the shipping and handling would be, but we certainly get you a quote if that is something that you happen to need. With the payment options, there are multiple ways to pay for this program. We work with some third-party vendors. One is a firm. They do a lot of financing for big box stores, things like Wayfair. Lots of them use a firm these days. We do with the firm. If you select that after you put everything in your shopping cart, you can literally click on a firm. It'll take you to a secure page where you get a little form to fill out. It literally takes less than a minute. It's pretty speedy. And they will come back to you and let you know, one, if you're approved. They accept a pretty wide range of credit. So I do encourage you to fill that out, even if you're not sure you want to utilize it. Try it anyway. There's no ding on your credit for doing so. So that's nice. And when it comes back, it'll actually give you scenarios of up to 18-month payment, 6-month payment, 3-month payment, and you can see what those payments would be, and you decide whether or not at that point you want to accept it. If you don't, you can still check out with a credit card. We also work with PayPal, that's PayPal Credit, and Pay in 4. So those options are available. If you're working with any kind of Workforce Investment Act, an AmeriCorps, Eagle Scholarship, any of those alternative funding types, you might want to contact our enrollment counselors for guidance as to whether or not you would work directly with us or with the partner school. Sometimes that varies. And if you have additional questions, you can certainly call us directly at 1-800-522-7737. Again, our enrollment counselors are available from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday, except major holidays. And then we have our email direct to the counselors is info, I-N-F-O, at legalstudies.com. And you can certainly find everything I've told you on our website at legalstudies.com. Deja, I'll kick it back to you and let's see if we've got any questions that we can answer in our remaining time.
All right. Thank you so much, Stephanie. Let's take a look here. I know that our enrollment counselors have gotten to a lot of questions throughout the presentation. So let's see what we have left here. Let's see. I don't have a college degree, only a high school diploma. Am I eligible to enroll, and will this certificate further my career?
Absolutely. So the minimum requirement to take our program is a high school diploma or a GED. And what I tell students is, doesn't mean we want you to dig it out of the basement or find it and send it to us for proof. We say that because these courses are taught on a college level. Back to that same theme that you hear me repeating over and over and over. We want you to be successful. Therefore, you need to come to the table with college level reading and writing skills. So about 75% of our students nationwide over all the years have a degree already, whether it be an associate, a bachelor's. We have people with master's degrees, PhDs that come to take this course. They're here for one reason, and that is develop the skills and get the training. Now, that means 25% of our students don't have any advanced degree at all. They're coming with a high school diploma or a GED. It is absolutely acceptable, and we welcome you. So not an obstacle.
Awesome. Thank you. Another question we have is, what is the deadline for enrollment for the online session starting on August 19th?
Truthfully, if you know that you want to participate in the program, I would get enrolled now. We'll accept enrollments right up to the day, but we encourage earlier enrollment because within the syllabus, if you haven't viewed it already, it tells you all the books you need. I mean, you can pre-populate the books into your shopping cart. That's going to give you time to receive the books. We send everything out ground shipping, so that's going to take a few days to the closest places in the country. And you want to start the class with those materials. You don't want to be waiting for them after class started. So definitely at a minimum, allow whatever time it's going to be for shipping and handling. We have a warehouse in Kentucky that our books ship out of. So they're coming from there. And then, because the syllabus even has the reading charts and things like that, not only do you want to physically have the books, nice to have a little time with them before class starts, because once it does begin, you're going to be busy.
All right, thank you. Next question. I'm a little confused on the paralegal certificate versus the advanced certificate. Are both of these included in the 14-week course or no?
No, they are not. The paralegal certificate, which provides you your core foundational training and yields a paralegal certificate, your basic certificate, that is a 14-week training, and that is 2 7-week sessions, because 7 plus 7, 14 there. That's the first 14 weeks. When you complete that program, you are eligible to begin taking advanced topics. Now, depending on how many topics you want to take would determine how long that training is. If you want to take just one topic, it's going to be 7 weeks. If you want to take all 16, then you're going to have to double them up and triple them up. We allow students to take them 1, 2, or 3 at a time. That's the max in a single 7-week session. So if you're a California student, you could do 3 topics in 7 weeks and 3 more topics in another 7 weeks. So that would be 14 weeks plus the original 14 weeks on your paralegal. So it's 28. So the fastest track for a California student is going to be 4 sessions, 28 weeks. When you start advanced, if you don't want to crank through them that fast, even if you're a California student and you want to slow your pace down, you can. From the time you take the first one, you've got up to 12 months to complete all 6. And you don't need to know what pace you're going to be successful at right now. You can enroll in the program for advanced and you can choose all 6 topics. And if you change your mind later, oh, I don't want to go that fast, or I want to speed it up a little, you can do that down the road. I advise you to go ahead and do the advanced enrollment versus piecemealing them out. Currently, they are $550 per topic, but you could do for $3,000 all 6 on a bundled rate. So you save $300. And you can communicate with our support team to change your schedule, change your topics if you want to shuffle that up a little bit later down the road. That's not a problem. But get that $300 discount if you're in California, definitely. And speaking of that, this little secret for those of you that have stuck around long enough to hear this, January 2025, there's some course fees that are increasing. Paralegal and advanced are 2 that are on that list. So if you are planning to take this course anytime in the next 6 months, I would do it now in session 5, which is in August 19th, or in session 6, so that you can take advantage of the current course fees. Because in 2025, starting January session 1, they will be increasing.
All right. Let's see here. We have another question. Any advice if the enrolling student has education from outside of the US? I have a bachelor's and master's in law from India. Would I need to get my transcripts evaluated for admission?
You would not. Our courses are offered through continuing and professional education. They are open enrollment, which means there is no application process. You do not have to apply and wait to be accepted. You simply pay the course fee, get your books, take the training, earn the certificate. It's that simple.
Awesome, thank you. Do I have to pick one of the partner schools in my state, or can I pick any school on the list?
You can select any one of our partner schools. We recommend that you select the school that is closest to you. If you have an affiliation or you earned a degree from some other school that happens to be one of our partners, and it's a personal connection to that, that may be a little different story, but otherwise, it's always our recommendation for you to select the partner closest to you.
All right. I am a current student at the University of Arizona and was wondering if this changes my current enrollment process.
It does not. These are offered through continuing and professional education. They do not impact your degree. They're not going to yield any elective credits or change any kind of financial aid. Financial aid does not apply for any of these courses because they are non-credit. And so they will not impact your current status as a student at that university.
Awesome, thank you. It looks like we have time for just a couple more questions here. Does this certificate enable you to be a paralegal in any state?
Yes. There's the only exceptions are going to be California. You need to do both programs to be in compliance with that code. In New Mexico, you will need to also have a bachelor's degree to utilize the title paralegal. Otherwise, you'll need to call yourself a legal assistant. But there are no specific regulations in any other state currently.
All right, and then this question kind of goes off of that question, just in terms of state-specific law? So based on the school a student chooses, will the classes be based on that specific state's law?
No, all of our courses are based on federal law. The specific assignments that you do, you will utilize your own state's laws for those. And another reason why we encourage you to pick the school closest to you is because we try to regionalize our instructors with the students from those schools.
Perfect. It looks like we have one more question. Our enrollment counselors are doing such a great job catching up with all of the questions. So it looks like we have one more question. Are you able to begin work as a paralegal after completing this course?
You betcha. You are ready to go to work.
All right, well, as simple as that. And it doesn't look like we have any further questions. So I'm going to go ahead and say thank you to Stephanie and also to everyone who's joined us today. We want to extend our gratitude to you all for joining us. And if you have any additional questions that we didn't address, please feel free to contact us. Our enrollment counselors are eager to assist you. We will be sending out a recording of this webinar, so keep an eye on your inbox by the end of the week if you'd like to watch it again. Our next traditional online course session starts on Monday, August 19th. However, you can enroll in the course today and complete it at your own pace with our self-study format. Thank you once again, and a special thanks to Stephanie for her invaluable insights today. Have a great day, everybody.
Thank you all. We hope to see you in class soon. Everybody have a great day.